Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of tonight's edition of Smackdown. And of course, this is another taped WWE show that they're doing out in the UK. Last night Raw taped their show last night, and then SmackDown taped theirs today. And I gotta say, this SmackDown this week, I thought it was a good show. I actually really enjoyed it. It was a million times better than last night's Raw. So the crowd, you could tell they were really pumped up for the SmackDown show because they were cheering, a whole lot, loudly, or it might have been edited in the crowd. The crowd must have been edited, but who knows? When WWE tapes their shows overseas, they could edit the crowd chants uh, and stuff like that. But the show opened with Randy Orton coming out saying that Payback he didn't lose the House of Horror match because of Bray. He lost the match because of Jinder Mahal. And then Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers end up coming out. Jinder Mahal says that he didn't take anything from Randy. He just took what he's going to win at Backlash. And he then shows a clip on Titantron of what he will look like with the WWE title if he wins it at Backlash. And then he says at Backlash he will take the title and take it to his people, back to his land. And he says that the people will pay respect to him. He also says to the crowd that they will also respect him, when he wins the title. And then Kevin Owens ends up coming out saying that, no one cares about both Orton and Jinder. And he also says to the England crowd that the people should care about him. And he says that last week he ended Jericho's career. And he says at Backlash he will also end AJ Styles' career. And when he's done with AJ Styles, he's coming after the WWE title. And he goes on to say that if he wins the title, he won't be called the face of America. He will also be called the face of WWE. And then AJ Styles comes out and says that Owens is not, him, is not AJ Styles. And he says that Owens will never be the face of SmackDown. And then Baron Corbin comes out, Baron Corbin returning from his suspension. He then gets attacked, he's on the mic, and then he gets attacked from behind by Sami Zayn. And all of them go at it in the ring, for a little bit, Jinder, Randy Orton and them. And then Jinder Mahal, Baron, and Kevin Owens retaliate out of the ring to end the segment. It was a pretty good opening segment with all of them. And then the first match was Natalya versus Becky Lynch. Before that, you had Tamina, Carmella, and Ellsworth coming out introducing Natalya. And then Naomi comes out to introduce Becky Lynch. And then, after Becky comes out, Charlotte ends up coming out saying that she doesn't need, an introduction. And, she could prove herself, that she doesn't need an introduction. And so the match started. And then I have to say that it was a decent match. Just Natalya and Becky going at it. They were both pretty good in the match. But you had Natalya win the match because Becky Lynch was distracted from outside, from Ellsworth and Carmella, and Tamina, which gave Natalya the win. So, and then after that, but overall Natalya versus Becky Lynch, it was a decent match. After that, Charlotte and Naomi were backstage arguing about both of them, making them being why that Becky lost. And then Becky comes and says that they should do something against Tamina, Carmella, and Natalya. And they want to face them at Backlash in a 6-woman tag team match. So that's probably going to happen now at Backlash. And they just, form, just the 3 of them, just form their own, little team for Backlash. So it was a pretty cool backstage segment. And after that, we had another shitty Fashion Files thing with Breezango. It was just them and the Ascension there. Pretty shitty, in my opinion. I know I've seen a lot of people like this and find it funny. I just don't find it funny. Like, I think, the Miz and Maurice making fun of, John Cena and Nikki Bella. I thought that was way better than what this Breezango thing is. So, that's just my opinion. Then after that, it was Erick Rowan versus Luke Harper. So, a decent match. Not great, though, but you had Erick Rowan beat Luke Harper because you had Erick Rowan taking his mask and looking at it, and then just had just won the match. So yeah, so overall it was a decent match. Not great. And then after that, you had Dolph Ziggler coming out. He calls the crowd hypocrites, and that the crowd doesn't, he also says that the crowd doesn't appreciate him, and that only the crowd cheers for Shinsuke Nakamura. And he then calls out Nakamura and says that, it's a month that Nakamura's been on SmackDown, and, he also goes to say that the crowd cheers for Nakamura because, you all cheer for him. He's done nothing. He hasn't had one match yet. So, and then he says to Nakamura that it's a month that he's been on SmackDown and that he must put up. He's gonna say put up or shut up. And then Nakamura steals the mic from Dolph, and then he says shut up to Dolph. And Nakamura says that he'll show him what he has, and see what he does. And then Dolph says no, that Shinsuke wants to beat up on Dolph, and they want to have a match tonight. They had a referee out there. And then Dolph says no, and that they will have a match when he says so, and that Dolph is going to expose Nakamura at Backlash. And then Dolph just cheap shots Nakamura and takes him out. And then Nakamura ends up retaliating, just start beating the hell out of Dolph, and then he gives Dolph a right arm. And then Dolph wants to get back into the ring, but he doesn't. So overall, it was a pretty good segment between Dolph and Shinsuke. So we gotta wait until Backlash for the match between the both of them, which hopefully, that will be the best match of the night. Ziggler and Shinsuke at Backlash. I hope so. And then after that, we had just a little locker room segment with Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles. Sami was like, "Oh, we must win tonight," and then Sami's just really happy that he's tagging with Orton and Styles, and then he goes on to say, "You're the winners tonight." Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles. He had his eyes closed, and when he opened up his eyes, both Orton and Styles were gone. But it was really funny. And then after that, it was a boring match. Breezango versus the Ascension. pretty boring match. The crowd was silent throughout this match. They didn't care for it. But Breezango got the win, just to try to make them look good for their match at Backlash against the Usos. And speaking of the Usos, after the match, they came out and said that at Backlash, the tag team titles could belong to Breezango. But then they said, they're just talking smack to Breezango, saying, at Backlash, 12 days. And then it was just a funny little thing where they were saying, "Oh, we're gonna skin you 12 days." It was funny though. I really liked that. Thought it was funny. But all in all, it was just a boring match. Breezango and the Ascension. Like I said, the crowd didn't care for it. They were silent during it. So, and then it was Mojo Rawley backstage with these kids, showing them the Andre the Giant Battle Royal trophy. And it was just giving him, and then after that, it was just Mojo giving the kids a tour off camera. And I'm like, okay, it was a short little backstage segment. Nothing good or anything. And then Rusev, they show another video with Rusev saying that Rusev has heard nothing from Shane about giving him a title match at Money in the Bank. And, Rusev says, he hasn't heard nothing. And then he says that he's coming to SmackDown next week for an answer. And then it was the main event, which is Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens, and Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles. This was a good main event. Flowed really good. Match flowed really good. Just these guys here was, it was entertaining watching all of them. But you had Jinder Mahal at the end. Jinder Mahal hitting the Cobra Clutch Slam on Randy Orton because Orton was distracted by the Sin Brothers, and he gave an RKO to Kevin Owens, and that led to Jinder Mahal hitting the Cobra Clutch Slam on Orton to score the win for him, Kevin Owens, and Baron Corbin to end the show. So yeah, so it's pretty much build on that match for Backlash. Trying to make Jinder look more strong so he could compete at Backlash with Orton for the title. So overall, it was a pretty good main event. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, so anyways, that's it for my review of tonight's edition of SmackDown. Thank you all for watching, and until next video, I'll see you all later. Bye.